Hey you guys, I'm here today with my two projects for the Iamroses Color Challenge for the month of December. Joe came up with a really fun theme, and it was gift wrap ideas, all about gift wrapping, presenting your presents to people, and to incorporate red and green. So the first one I did is the box on the left, and it is an explosion box. I don't know how many of y'all have seen those, but they're really fun, and I wanted to use the Nutcracker sweet paper line and do some really cool pop-up elements in there. And I did like the top of it more traditional, really basic style type wrapping. I mean, this is how I would really do my boxes. This is how I usually do them, just wrapping them with the ribbon and then, you know, a couple flowers, a little tag, but I added some other fun elements to it. And then the box on the right, I'm out of breath, y'all, I'm sorry, I've been running around like crazy today, but the box on the right is really fun mixed media, and I just had a lot of fun with that one, and I did use the Nutcracker sweet paper line on that as well. I'll show you the explosion box first, and there will be a link to the Iamroses blog down below, of course, so you guys can go check out the challenge and see what all the other ladies came up with. Really fun. Everybody did an amazing job on this challenge. And I linked to my blog as well with all the product description on all the flowers and stuff I used. So this is the explosion box, like I said, so you can see down here, you know, it doesn't close up completely right, but I think that just happens when you make these. The bottom part I used like the pink polka dot paper line, paper from the collection. It's really pretty. And I took music note paper, which I really like the idea of using music note paper to wrap presents in, which is what I did to the other box. So I just tore some pieces out and kind of distressed them up and went all the way around the box and the lid, all the way around it with different music note paper. And then these are some little resin pieces I made from the Martha Stewart. They're legit mold, y'all. These are the ones you can buy. They are really fun to use. She has a bunch of different ones, and it comes with the clay and stuff you can make them with. I used resin in this one, but it's really fun. It's a little corner piece. So that is one of the Martha Stewart ones. And then over here, this is another one that came in her set that I used, and then this one here as well, and it's like a cameo, so I used resin on that too and just filled in the little cameo and have it dangling there with some chain. I did do some snow coming down with the hot glue technique, and I just double wrapped the bow going around, but of course I trimmed it to where it looks like, you know, it's going all the way up, but it's not, so you can still open the box. The lid of it I kept pretty simple. I did another little resin piece over here in the corner, more music note paper, and I just had a really big bow with some May Arts ribbon that I actually won from Graphic 45, and tied it up there and just have it going down the sides all pleated up. This is a little tag from the chipboard tag from the Nutcracker Suite collection, and it's got the red and greens on there, so I wanted to use that. And then I dyed all of these flowers. These I used the Heidi Swap Color Shine, and let me grab that really quickly so I can show y'all. Really highly pigmented sprays, really bright, and that's what they look like right there. So that's the red, and then I used the green as well to do these Iamroses flowers. This is an R40, and offhand I can't remember the name of this one, but there will be a link to my blog. These are the rose leaves as well that come in white, and I just distressed them with a little bit of black soot to kind of hit the raised areas with it. I fussy cut the little ballerina from the Nutcracker paper line. That's my favorite part of the paper line, are all the ballerinas. I've used those on just about everything Christmas-wise that I've used. This is another one of those frames that come from the Martha Stewart molds, and I again used resin instead of the clay because I'm impatient. The clay takes a while to dry. And I just put this little Mouse King guy in there with the music note paper, since the music notes matched up with what was on the box, and have it there. So that is the top of my box, and then as you take the lid off, and let me see if I can zoom out so you guys can get the full effect here, pardon me. Okay, so you take the lid off, and then everything, well, it's supposed to come all the way down, but I think she got caught. Okay, it's supposed to just explode down. I built mine so well and sturdy that it doesn't want to come all the way down sometimes, so I have to kind of help it. But it's got all these layers here. It's like 4 layers of paper that you can put pictures, you know, different things you want to do. I had made one for my mother when I first started scrapbooking, and I put pictures of us in past Christmases on all these little pull away parts. So that's what I plan to do for the person I give this one to. So it just opens up all the way around, and on each little sheet I used a different Martha Stewart edge punch. Like on this one I used the little gate one, and then this one I used just this little pretty decorative edge, and then this one is like a scalloped edge. So it's 4 different layers you can put pictures and stuff in, and I wanted just a really cool pop-up scene here in the center of it. So what I did to adhere all of these down, let me zoom down and show y'all. is I just used acetate to pop everything up, you know, created like a little hinge, if you will, with the acetate so you couldn't see it, and glued all of my elements down so that they're all nice and, you know, popped up. So it was really fun to create this little scene in here. This little edge has the ballerina. You can't even see, just like right there, the acetate just barely. So that is what's keeping her up. So I fussy cut her out and put her there. I fussy cut this out from the paper line, and then I just have some Iamroses flowers here, R40, and another one that I used the color shine on. I have some Recollections bling coming out back there. The Christmas tree I made by doing rosettes. I made like a rosette, trimmed down a piece of the paper to about, I think it was an inch, maybe a little less, and then I scored in at a half an inch or a quarter of an inch on all of them. Maybe it was a half an inch all, excuse me. But anyway, when I went to make the rosette, I just kind of pushed it upward to create a like cone shaped rosette to make my Christmas tree. So I did 3 different sizes on that, getting smaller as I went up, and then I fussy cut the little bow out of the paper line. So that is my Christmas tree. Over here I have the little sugar plums cut out. I have a little nutcracker guy. He's again on some acetate. You can just see the acetate right there. And another little chipboard tag where you can write a little message on the inside of it. I put the little grandfather clock, which is one of my favorite parts. I did have to trim some of the top off of it so that the lid would go on there right correctly. So I had to trim a little bit off, but it still looks good. So I have that over there. And when I glued everything down, I had to be very careful that as I was gluing my things down, the placement of them still allowed this to close up. So like she is just perfectly, you know, not touching the clock enough to where this side will go up. And then he is going to go below her leg right here, the nutcracker guy. So you see everything had to go perfectly spaced out to where this thing would still close up. So that took a little bit of planning out. Excuse me, y'all. That took a little bit of planning out, but definitely worth it. I had a lot of fun with this one. On the back there, I just took this little sheet from the paper line and kind of pleated it up and put some little vintage trim there. And then over here, I just fussy cut the little presents out and put another one of those little resin frames with the little Mouse King. And this is actually a sticker from the Graphic 45 Nutcracker Sweet paper line. And I have some cherry blossoms and some other flowers and some of the beautiful rose leaves coming out to the side over here. And I did distress up all the edges with black soot just to kind of finish it off. And I have that pleated up there as well. It says the Land of Sweets. So that is the inside of the box, and it's really fun. You can just put like all of your pictures and journaling and all kinds of stuff in these. So it's a really fun little project to do, and it really doesn't take that long either. So that's what I came up with for my first one, and I'll just set that one to the side. And then the next one, like I said, I wanted to do like a mixed media feel on it. So I had super fun creating this one. Let me zoom out really quickly to show y'all. Pardon me. I used music note paper to wrap the whole thing, and then what I thought was really fun was to use light bulbs, kind of like mimicking, you know, Christmas tree lights for the feet. So I'd adhere those all the way around, the little Tim Holtz light bulbs. So I thought that was just a really fun thing to do. So I want to definitely use music paper to wrap a lot of my gifts this year. I've seen it on Pinterest and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I did the music note paper all the way around. I did a lot of masking and stuff, and a lot of it got covered up, but you can still see it around. And I actually wrapped the lid, you know, like actually wrapped it, so just adhering the paper to cover it. And I put this beautiful black seam binding all the way around and tied like a triple bow here in the center. And I dripped a lot of the Perfect Pearls in gold, so it's really shimmery. Hopefully you can see. It just hits that black area and creates this really sparkly, pretty effect. So just kind of drip that down. This is another one of those Martha Stewart molds, and I just made another one out of resin, and I painted it and put this from the paper line in there that says Dance, and I just drilled through it with my Dremel tool, and then I adhered these little charms on a jump ring. It's a star and just some little green jewels, and I just kind of inked up all of this. I used lettuce alcohol ink and red pepper alcohol ink and some of those color shines and a couple of Lindy Stamp Gang, a little bit of shimmers. I just used all the reds and greens that I had to give it like a multi-toned effect. I punched out some of the little butterflies in pink, and I dyed these little pearls with some red pepper alcohol ink, and I have those going just randomly around. I put this black lace all the way around the box with this white pearl drop trim, which reminded me of almost icicles dangling down. So I put that there. On the top here, I don't know if you can see, but it's masked with a Prima mask. It's this big swirl that's absolutely beautiful. And I'm trying to remember the color I used on here, and I cannot think of it. It was a spray for my stash that I hadn't used yet. It was really, really, really pretty. And of course it's not coming to me. It's really pretty. So I sprayed it with that all the way over and masked it with a snowflake. I had a chipboard snowflake in my stash. So hopefully you can see just the outline of the snowflake here, and then the outline of the snowflake up there, and down here as well. It's kind of hard to make out once everything gets covered up, but I did the masking with a snowflake. I have some pearls coming out here. I used a chipboard 2 and a metal 5 just to kind of be funky, and I painted this one red and just alcohol inked the 5 with some lettuce alcohol ink. Put little jewels there. Then I have some more of those beautiful rose leaves coming out to the side here. Some little sprigs from my stash, and these are some beautiful little Iamroses flowers that I colored as well. And then a big R77 rose, which is one of my favorites. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I just dripped some of the colors and everything on there. I have a few of the little butterflies coming out down here, and then one up here as well. And again, I don't think I've done a single project using the Nutcracker line where I didn't use one of the ballerinas, so she's popped up coming off of the box up here. Just fussy cut her out. So that is what I came up with, y'all. Those are my 2 boxes, and I hope you like them. Like I said, there will be a link to the challenge blog down below, so you guys can go check out what the other ladies came up with, and I hope y'all participate, because we're all doing wrapping. You know, this is the time of year, so it's not really, you know, a far reach for everybody to just jump in and participate and take out your Iamroses flowers and really jazz up some presents. It just really makes the gift go like the extra mile. I'm doing it for a lot of my family. And again, a link to my blog down below, so I'll give you the product description for everything that I used. And if you have any questions, let me know. Hope everybody's having a wonderful month so far and getting ready for Christmas, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye!